Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dworkin and I'm a managing partner at 4D Capital. We specialize in a very unique mathematical approach to the stock market where we analyze the market and individual stocks in multidimensional space. And when we do, essentially perfect order emerges. On top of that, we've developed a number of very powerful timing indicators over the years. And when we combine both of those factors together, we can very often tell exactly what the overall stock market or individual stocks will do in both time and price. And we can typically do it on multiple time frames, whether it's short term, long term, doesn't really matter. I personally believe our work is nearly identical to what Jim Simmons was able to accomplish at Renaissance Technologies. So our firm's goal is to essentially identify stocks that will 2x, 5x, 10x. And of course that's everybody's goal, but we have a secret weapon in this fight. We have our very powerful software that we've developed over this multidimensional analysis that has the ability to, for example, scan the entire S&P 500, calculate it in multidimensional space, and essentially pick stocks that have very important bottoms coming up. So in this case, bottoms, because that's where you get those 2x, 5x, 10x. It's very difficult to make money on the short side, as you know. So, but the most powerful thing about our software is that it's not only able to pick out upcoming bottoms, it is then able to calculate exactly what those stocks will do going forward in both time and price. And that gives us the ability to pick out only the best, only the stocks that will, once again, 2x, 5x, 10x going forward. So we are essentially able to look for and identify the next NVIDIA, Apple, Bitcoin, and so forth. So today we're going to be taking a very quick look at Home Depot. Home Depot is one of our mega cap stocks that we update twice a year, and unfortunately in this case Home Depot is not producing very clear results. So typically our work is very good in identifying very important turning points for the majority of the stocks, but not for all of them. And as is the case here, this is a very, not necessarily a difficult situation, it's just a very muddy situation where the stock itself is not producing very clear and consistent mathematical output, and as a result we are somewhat unable to pinpoint exact turning points with this particular stock. Having said that, we in our last update we talked about the fact that this was most likely the top, even though it didn't really hit any tops or bottoms that were associated with our time or price turning point. But we thought at that time that this particular top at the end of 2024 was indeed the top. But we did project that there's going to be a bottom in early May, which we saw in April. And ever since then, you know, actually over the last couple of years, the stock has been stuck in a trading range of sorts. And it's not doing much better going forward. We do have an upcycle, but as you notice here, by the way, those who are not familiar with my work, what you're seeing at the top and bottom is what we call cycle composites, and the line is cycle clusters. I'm not going to get into any of that in today's video. You can watch prior videos where I describe it in greater detail, but it's not very important for this analysis. So it is projecting some sort of a top. It is possible that we'll here, let me show you a little bit of a different representation, three-dimensional representation of our calculations. So typically when we have important tops or bottoms, they reach the green regions because those are the mathematical probabilities, not probabilities, but those are the mathematical points where stocks top and bottom. So this particular top didn't really hit anything, and this particular bottom on the downside didn't really hit anything, meaning that the stock itself is projecting that it's going to go both higher and lower at the same time, right? So that's the muddy kind of situation that I was talking about earlier. But in our view, basically, there are two possibilities for the Home Depot stock going forward. One possibility is indicating that it's going to go still a little bit higher, a little above this particular top, sort of a double top formation, hit this green region and then begin to decline into the fourth quarter of 2026. That's when we anticipate the next bottom. The secondary scenario is that this was the top. We don't have to go and see a higher high, and the stock will simply remain range bound and will continue to decline into that the same juncture of fourth quarter of 2026. So in essence, what we're saying is that the stock is going to move with the market. The stock is currently not offering anything of interest on either the long side or the short side. There is just too much risk and too many cross currents associated with the stock. Now, it will become a little bit more attractive as soon as we reach that fourth quarter of 2026 bottom for the stock. Then the stock's going to have a much greater ability to run higher. But as of this recording, as of today, it is, in our view, not very wise to participate in this stock, either on the long side or the short side. Even though we do anticipate the stock to decline into approximately $250 range, which would indicate a decline of upwards to 50%, a little bit less than 50%, which you would argue could be considered a pretty good return on investment on the short side. But once again, we typically stay away from shorting stocks anyway. But as is the case here, there's once again cross currents, and some of the mathematical calculations suggest the stock will go a little bit higher, and some of them suggest the top is in and it will going to continue to decline into the fourth quarter of 2026. So I guess the only clear thing about this stock at this time is that it will continue longer term. We're talking about approximately over a year period of time. The stock will decline into the fourth quarter of 2026. And that's when an important bottom will be put in place. And then from that bottom, the stock will appreciate quite significantly. But until that happens, the stock is kind of in this very muddy, messy situation, at least according to our mathematical calculations. So nothing is clear 100%. And this is a perfect example when the stock is not yielding proper mathematical outputs in order for us to make those determinations or make those very accurate forecasts that we are very well known for. So having said that, we do have a free trial associated with our work. As I've been always saying, all you have to do is request it, link in the description of this video, and there's no strings attached, no credit cards, none of that, and you'll get access to an absolute wealth of information, not only in terms of the overall stock market, 52 mega caps that we follow and update all the time, our super equities, our fast movers, our trading platform, all of that good information is there. So I do encourage you, if you're interested in our work, please check it out, and you'll get those time and price projections that we're known for. Also, we have a webinar coming out on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. During that webinar, we are going to talk about the overall composition of the stock market, where we are today, what's going to happen next. We're also going to showcase our software, and we essentially explain how we calculate the market in three-dimensional space. So very interesting, very much worth your time. It's only limited to 10 people. We still have a few spots left. Link in the description of the video. So if you would like to subscribe, not subscribe, but if you would like to register, please do so as soon as possible. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll be back with another stock tomorrow. Bye-bye.